Hey guys, it's Kieran. Welcome back to a new video. This is going to be about content, so how to make a content strategy in 10 minutes for fitness coaches. So let's get straight into it. So this is the exact strategy that I've used to help online fitness coaches attract, nurture, and convert 200 plus high-ticket clients in the last year. The best part of all is you don't need to be a fitness influencer or have a big following to get clients using this strategy. Okay, you don't need to spend hours and hours making content or be a full-time content creator to implement this. So the first thing I want to note is you need to be smart and you need to make data-driven decisions. So there's two sides of this. When it comes to finding content ideas for your niche, you always want to rely more heavily on what's already working and what your target audience actually want. So stop going off how you feel. If you want to actually build a successful business online, you need to be more calculated than that. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You just have to have an eye for what's currently doing well, so you can kind of ride that wave. Now, number one is answering frequently asked questions. So this is probably the easiest content strategy that there is. Questions about your service or the transformation that you're selling. This is very quick, but it's also very effective. It doesn't have to be boring. You can answer them in a variety of different styles. But yeah, this is you actually responding to what the market actually wants. So, it's a very good content strategy. Number two is making a list of 100 frequently asked questions or objections. If you do this, you'll never have to worry about content ideas ever again. Okay, so when you go through this list, you can just start over when it's done. And with repetition, your audience will always be learning everything that they need to know to make a decision to join your program. It's almost like brainwashing in a way, right? You're eliminating limiting beliefs, objections, educating them, all to the point where they're nurtured over time and then they take some form of action. So you can get this information in multiple different ways from your audience, from leads, from clients, from ChatGPT. Comments, DMs, sales calls, coaching check-ins, group calls. You can train ChatGPT about who your target audience is, and then ask it for the most frequently asked questions. And you can also use the teaching points and questions from your competitors as well, if you notice that their content is performing well and they're in a similar niche to you. Number three is making a creators list. So this is what I like to call content sniping. It's one of the best ways to grow on social media. And this should be something that should always be ongoing, right? Market research and competitor research is very important. You want to look for creators in your niche or similar who are getting 10 times the amount of views per follower that they have. Okay, so if they have 1,000 followers and they're getting 10K plus views on their reels, that's a very good sign that what they're doing is working. So you can use a website called Viral Finder, and you can punch someone's name into it and it'll tell you all their best performing videos based on comments, likes, shares, all that sort of stuff. And you just want to study these videos, figure out why they're popping off, and then recreate them yourself. Don't copy them though, just use the winning variables such as the hook, trending audio, pattern interrupts, environment, that sort of thing. The next one is to build your distribution system. So this is very simple. You can be really efficient with this if you want, starting big, working your way down to small. So one long form piece of content, you can break that down into short form. Then you can even break that down into like tweet style posts, okay? And then this means you've got the capability of posting 4 to 6 times based on one bit of content that you made. For a fitness coach, I recommend, focusing on these three because they're obviously the best ones for this niche. The next is just to get really good at making hooks. The hook is the first 2 to 3 seconds of a video, which contributes to 80% of the reason why a video gets pushed hard by the algorithm. So you need to stop people scrolling and you need to give them a good enough reason to watch to the end of the video. So this applies to all short form content, YouTube as well, but the hook's going to be a slightly longer, maybe 10 to 20 seconds. And you're always focusing on the pain points and desires to really grab their attention and make them want to watch to the end of the video. Number 5, you need to sprinkle some social proof in there, okay? People are going to take you a lot more seriously and be more willing to take action on what you're saying if you're backing up your claims. So an example of our micro sales letter strategy is the hook, evidence, value, call to action. That's kind of the high level overview. And you can also leverage social proof in multiple different ways, okay, so it doesn't get repetitive. You know, if someone's on your story highlights, they're not just going to go through 50 screenshots, right? You need to be getting some variety in there. So these are some examples for you. Number 6, get good at creating long-form content. When you've mastered the art of getting views on your short form, it's time to start nurturing your audience on a deeper level. So long-form videos are the best way to convert people into clients. The more time they spend with you, aka watching you on the screen, the more trust will be built. And to do this, you want to check your best performing short-form content and kind of use this as the base for your long-form video ideas. Okay, here's a little example of the 7-hour rule, if you've heard of that. So from the minute they see you or follow you, it's going to take them around 7 hours to turn them into a high-ticket client. So YouTube is obviously a hack for this. You know, if you're posting 20 to 30-minute videos, this is going to be massively reduced, and you're going to be able to do that a lot quicker. IG stories, right? This one's great for nurturing and converting existing members of your audience. Stories are far more engaging and personal than feed posts. They're more raw and authentic. So people are going to get to know you quicker on stories. And unlike Reels, where you're just likely to post once a day, Stories gives you the ability to influence people, 5 to 10 times a day. So in terms of building know, like, and trust with your audience, this is the place to do it. So just make sure your given to asking ratio is 10 to 1, so you're not being too salesy. So things like Q&As, things like that, really good for giving value, and then you can give the call to action at the end. But here's just a little workflow example for you. Number 8 is creating private assets. Basically what I mean by that is lead magnets. So having more exclusive pieces of content that you can use as leverage in exchange for conversations and or contact information like emails. Something that isn't publicly available is automatically perceived as more valuable because social media is full of free information. So often people will subconsciously not value that as much. But if you leverage, some private assets in this way, you're going to kind of allow yourself to create more conversations with people. However, creating a bad lead magnet can be very bad because this is kind of a glimpse into your service / information that isn't free or isn't public. And this can leave a bad taste in their mouth, if it's not very good. So a general rule of thumb is just ask yourself, would you pay $50 for this? And here's some examples for you, step-by-step guides, audits, ebooks, things like that. Maybe it'd be like a specific, program. You'll generate a lot more leads if you're leveraging things like that. And the distribution of this is, now that you've got all your assets made, which should solve all the problems of them, getting to their transformation. So even if the overall transformation is the same, different people will struggle with different sub-problems. So if we just look here, let's pretend here is 100 of your ideal client. They all want to lose fat, but 20% have this problem, 20 this problem, 20 this problem, 20 this problem, 20 this problem. So you need to make sure that you're accommodating everyone and you're not just focusing too hard on one area of that. So you can create mini offers to apply that, use it in your reels and things. You want to create reels which are relatable to the asset that you're trying to push, almost like a mini version that frames the asset as the solution to the problem in the hook. So here's like a hook example for you. So, I'm no longer keeping this a secret. This has literally saved me hours, and now I'm going to give it away to you for free. And then the close would be comment meals, and I'll send you over the recipe book. So getting people to comment as opposed to DM you is a good way to get more engagement on the post itself. And then Instagram's going to push that post to more people. But yeah, that's kind of it. So, you've got your base for getting content ideas, which are data-driven. And then as you work from top of funnel to bottom of funnel content, you're attracting people into your ecosystem with the short form content. You're nurturing them with the stories, and you're pushing them further down the funnel to your YouTube content. which is where most of the conversions are going to happen. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.